Detroit Lions fans, Detroit Den 313 back with another episode. Will here today. Rolling solo. My boy Steve had to take care of a little family business. So you guys got me today. Hopefully you can deal with me for one day. Steve will be back. If you're feeling moved, go ahead and drop it in the comments. Steve, we miss you. I know I miss him when I got to roll these things solo dolo. So that said, going to get into some news today. I think that there's some pertinent news that came out today. I don't know that I like the news, but pertinent news. Hold on. Just gotta sorry. We always keep Twitter on while we're doing the show. And Dave Burkett just put something out. And I saw Marcus Davenport's name. Yep. Okay. Dave Burkett. Marcus Davenport had his right arm in a sling in the locker room after practice today. He declined to say anything of note about his injury, but couldn't use his right arm to get up from the recliner he was in. So clearly he's not on track to play Monday. That's interesting. That's interesting. Dave Burkett, appreciate that. And Marcus Davenport was actually somebody that I was going to highlight today because he was seen at practice in the sling. So was not even able to get up out of the recliner, Dave Burkett says. He couldn't use that arm. So that obviously I wouldn't plan on having Marcus Davenport for the Monday Night Football game against the Baltimore Ravens. Honestly, I wasn't planning on having him this Monday anyways. Anytime you're getting a second opinion about your injury, I wouldn't expect you to be out there this week. The hope and the prayer, I think, is that Marcus Davenport does not have a season-ending injury. I know we thought that it was a shoulder initially, but it came out that it was listed as a chest injury. So not sure exactly what it is yet. The Lions haven't released the exact injury, but dealing with some type of chest injury. Marcus, we're praying for you. Hopefully that you can make it back, especially on the back end of the season. If we can get it done in the front half of the season and get him on the back half, I would be more than thrilled about it because this is a guy that has a tremendous amount of talent. Just can't stay on the field, man. Wasn't expecting him to play every game this season anyways. I think I'll pretty much stand with every Detroit Lions fan when I say that. But if I could get you for 8, 9 games this season, I'd be more than happy. So, Marcus, please get healthy fast, praying for your healing. And that kind of leads into another thing that I was going to talk about today anyways. Al-Quadin Muhammad. We talked about him in the previous episode. Got to bring him up again because when Coach Shep went to the podium, he talked about Al-Quadin Muhammad. He mentioned how he embodies what the Detroit Lions are. He talked about him throughout the preseason, not knowing even if he was going to make this roster. But even though he is a multi-year veteran in this NFL, he didn't get a bad attitude. He just gave a tremendous amount of effort. Right? You look at the film, Coach Shep says it tells you everything you need to know about Al-Quadin Muhammad. Went from week 1 getting 40-something snaps up to 70-something snaps in this last game. I think Al-Quadin Muhammad is going to be an immediate beneficiary of Marcus Davenport being out. This is his opportunity to thrive and show that he can pass rush, and I'm interested to see what he can do in the run game. So Al-Quadin, step up, do your thing. I know he's a little bit of an older guy to be getting his first opportunity to start, so to speak, but he's 30 years old, but I think that he's still got a lot of good football in there, and especially he hasn't had as much wear and tear on his body because he hasn't been a starter over his whole career. So Al-Quadin, man, I'm really looking forward to you getting your opportunity. Your story is a story that makes me want to cheer for you. So let's go get another sack this week. He's already got a sack last week. Opportunity, man. Opportunity. Those who thrive in opportunity, man, have a lot of success. So looking forward to it. But staying on the injury news, Jack Campbell limited practice today with the ankle, but he was out there. I think that that's encouraging. Same thing for DJ Reed, knee out there. Kirby Joseph, knee out there. That's not really new news. It's good to see that they're out there for limited practice. That I think that's encouraging, and that makes me believe that they'll be out there on Monday. That's at least the expectation. And then full practice, Sione Vaki out there for full practice. He's been banged up with this hamstring even before freaking training camp. That's a guy that obviously he's a dog on special teams. He's going to immediately help us out on special teams. But I would really love to see him get like really truly healthy and be able to be a bit of a gadget player on offense. I know Coach Campbell talked about wanting to get him more involved in the offense. David Montgomery has even said before that he has his own special skill set that he thinks could offer something to the Detroit Lions as well. So Sione, get healthy, man. Uh, and hopefully this stuff is behind you and you can get out there and do your thing. But Taylor Decker out there practicing today. We're gonna need you. We're gonna need you this week. And then Trevor Nowatzki. I think Trevor Nowatzki is another one. He's underrated in what he can do at that same position when he's called upon, and obviously in special teams. So important guys. Getting into some other news. Yesterday, there was a comment made by a big time player for the Detroit Lions, none other than Alim McNeill. Alim McNeill was quoted as saying, if he needed to play this coming week on Monday Night Football, he is tremendously confident that he could play. Rated himself as 93 to 94% ready to get back on the field. Now, I don't know exactly where he chose those numbers from. It seems like kind of odd numbers, but that excites me. He did highlight he thinks the responsible thing to do is to finish this rehab off and make sure that he strengthened all the muscles around the knee, and the knee is stronger than it was before he went. I think that's the route that the Detroit Lions ultimately would be trying to go anyways. This is a guy who is 25 years old. He's 25 years old, still young. Him and Talik could have an awesome run together with none other than Aiden Hutchinson. This is a young defensive line who could just be rowdy and disruptive for some years. Alim just signed a 4-year deal. I think it was, I wrote it down in the notes here somewhere, close to 97 mil, close to 100 mil, right? So 4 years, 97 million. Lions have made the investment, and I think that they're going to protect their investment and let him finish this thing off. So for me, my guess would be Alim McNeill will probably come back to practice week 7-ish. We'll get through the bye week, and we'll probably see him versus the Minnesota Vikings week 9. That would be my guess. I don't think, and then obviously he'll probably be on a snap count, but to me, that's really encouraging. I went into this year expecting maybe that he wouldn't be back until November, late November, maybe beginning of December. So to get him back a little bit earlier, it excites me. And I think that could be, it could allow us to do something special and different that we haven't seen for a while. Just having two guys like Talik and Alim next to each other with Aiden Hutchinson. I'm not going to get too much X's and O's stuff, but those are two guys that can pass rush. Alim McNeill was a guy who I believe last season, I wrote it down, 3.5 sacks, and then the season before, and that was, not being able to play the whole season. And then the season before, he had 5 sacks. He's a guy that obviously we know is super agile, can pass rush. If you know anything about his high school career, this guy was a running back, making moves and spins and running over people. Extremely athletic dude. Him and Talik, same thing. Very athletic, very explosive. Those two guys are going to demand double teams. And with those double teams are going to come opportunities for somebody. Hopefully Aiden Hutchinson. If not, it'll be one of those two guys. So excited for that D-line. I think that we can kind of shift the way D-line is played in the NFL, and it'll be a problem for quarterbacks having that pressure right up in the right up the middle in their face. So something to look out for, man. Something to look out for. But this week, looking at this stuff, man, Coach Chef kind of highlighted some stuff defensively, talking about this defense needing to be physical. Talked about Lamar Jackson, all of the tools that he has at his disposal to be able to take down a defense. I think that this is a benchmark of where we're at since the Green Bay Packers game, because this is going to be a similar defense. I don't think that they're exactly the same. I don't know if the Baltimore Ravens have quite as much speed as the Green Bay Packers, because the addition of a edge guy that runs a 4.3 is crazy, right? So I can't say that the Baltimore Ravens have as much speed, but they're supremely talented. I'm talking about Kyle Hamilton, Malachi Starks on the back end of that thing. You're talking about Roquan, Metabuke. This thing is crazy. Nate Wiggins out there on the outside. That they have They got some dogs out there in Baltimore. Obviously, offensively, we know what they have in Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers. List goes on. Mark Andrews. They got weapons everywhere. They got a loaded roster. They are a team that goes into each season as of late as a championship caliber team. They're in the championship conversation every season. That's where the Detroit Lions have just entered. They've been in the championship conversation. So it's going to be a bit of a benchmark game to see where we're at with that caliber of team. I need to see us respond this week. I need to see those guys that we're talking about now. And Al-Quadin Muhammad, can you be a dude that can hold down the edge on the other side of Aiden Hutchinson? Because I don't think that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are stupid individuals. They knew that there was a potential that Marcus Davenport could get hurt. So why they signed him to a 1-year deal? So to me, that means that they doubled down and bet on guys like Al-Quadin Muhammad, Pat O'Connor. They believe in these guys. So now I need to see why. I need to see them perform. So that's what I'm expecting on Monday Night Football. Show us why Brad Holmes didn't go out and make a deal or sign a guy or get a guy in a draft a little bit earlier, because Hassani, haven't mentioned you in a while. I still believe that you can turn into something special, but I think that if Brad was worried, he would have made an investment a little bit earlier in the draft. Show us why that he didn't. That's what I'm looking forward to seeing on Monday Night Football this week. So don't want to get into too much game day stuff. Just wanted to hop on here real quick and talk about some of the injury stuff that was going on with the Detroit Lions. Guys, we will be back with another episode. Leave us some comments. Let us know how you're feeling.